Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Gevaridare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Gevaridare Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachare Yamuna Tera Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Gevaridare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Gevaridare Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Guru Dev Guru Dev Guru Dev Jaya Jaya Guru Dev Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Yasha Prabhupada K Gora Bhakta Brinda K Gora Pramanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So, you're welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Today's Sunday is the second Sunday of the year 2021. We're very happy to have you here. And we hope that your coming will create a lot of positive merits for you. So today we are reading from chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 28. Chapter 13, verse number 28. So the text is written on the notice board. These slokas are very auspicious. So as we recite, try to repeat after us. Even though you might be a new person, try to follow it because this is very auspicious. In fact, the material world is so inauspicious. Our 24 hours a day, our 7 days in a week is very inauspicious. So when we have the chance, when we have the opportunity to engage in anything that will create some auspiciousness, it is advised that we receive it with great happiness. So it's a very auspicious text. So let us all try to repeat it. So chapter 13, verse 28 of the Bhagavad Gita. Samam Sarvesu Bhutesu Samam Sarvesu Bhutesu Tistantam Parameswaram Tistantam Parameswaram Vinasyastu Avinasyatam Vinasyastu Avinasyastam Ja Pasyati Sa Pasyati Saramam Sarvesu Bhutesu Tistatam Parameswaram Vinasyatu Avinasyatam Ya Pasyati Sa Pasyati Samam Sarvesu Bhutesu Tistam Tam Parameswaram Vinasyatu Avinasyatam Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistam tam parameshwaram. Vinasyatu avinasyatam. Ya prashati sa pasyati. Please try. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistam tam parameshwaram. Vinasyatu avinasyantam. Yaha pasyati sa pasyati. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyasu avinasyatam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyasu avinasyantam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyasu avinasyantam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Mothers. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyasu avinasyantam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Mothers, no. It passed the Prabhu side, mother side. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyatu avinavasamtam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Samam sarvesu bhutesu. Tistantam parameswaram. Vinasyatu avinasyantam. Ya pasyati sa pasyati. Good. Word for word translation. Samam equally. Sarvesu in all. Bhutesu living entities. Tistantam residing. Parama Iswaram the super soul. Vinasyatu indestructible. Avinasyantam not destroyed. Yaha anyone who. Pasyati sees. Saha he. Pasyati actually sees. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki. Jai Sri Prabhupada Ki. Translation. One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. Please repeat responsibly. One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the indestructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. Srila Prabhupada writes, anyone who by good association can see three things combined together: the body, the proprietor of the body or the individual soul, and the friend of the individual soul, is actually in knowledge. Unless one has the association of a real knower of spiritual subjects, one cannot see these three things. Those who do not have such association are ignorant. They simply see the body, and they think that when the body is destroyed, everything is destroyed or finished. But actually, it is not so. After the destruction of the body, both the soul and the super soul exist, and they go on eternally in many various moving and non-moving forms. The Sanskrit word Parameshwara is sometimes translated as the individual soul because the soul is the master of the body. And after the destruction of the body, he transfers to another form. In that way, he is master. But there are others who interpret this Parameshwara to be the super soul. In either case, both the super soul and the individual soul continue. They are not destroyed. One who can see in this way can actually see what is happening. Omagana Temirandusya Jana Jana Salakaya Chakshu Onmlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guravina Maha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhotare Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pricharini Nervasi Sunyabadi Pasatya Disatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Samam sarvesu bhutesu tistantam parameshwaram vinasyatam avinasyatam ya pasyati sa pasyati. One who sees the super soul accompany the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. So once again, you're all welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is discussed. Today's subject matter is of much importance because it actually deals with the understanding of who we really are. In Krishna consciousness, one of the focal points is, I am not this body, but a spirit soul. So Papa will say that is the ABC of spiritual life. The ABC of spiritual life is, I am not this body, but a spirit soul. Those who are in ignorance cannot understand this philosophy because they think when the body dies, it means the end of the soul and the super soul. But those who are actually in knowledge, who understand that the end of this destructible body, does not signify the end of the super soul and the individual self is actually in knowledge. It is said that knowledge is so powerful to the point that it can liberate us from material consciousness. Knowledge is so powerful because by its application, one is able to transport him or herself from this material plane to the spiritual plane. That's how powerful knowledge is. So it must seem to be something very insignificant. That is, I am not this body by the spirit soul. It's very tiny and small, but it is so potent that those who are able to comprehend this philosophy, they are able to live a lifestyle that will be able to transport them into the spiritual world at the point of the destruction of this destructible material body. In fact, as I'm sitting, we are 3 in 1. 3 in 1, I mean, I can see you, you can see me speaking because of this, my gross body. This body is comprised of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So at the point of death, all these 5 elements must leave this body and join the totality of that element in space. So when one dies, the air leaves the body. That's why when someone dies, the person doesn't breathe anymore. When someone dies, after some time, the fire leaves the body. That's why when someone dies, after about 2-3 hours, when it touches the body becomes very cold. When someone dies, there's some kind of smell, some scent that comes around where the dead body is. That is the ether. And the 4th element that leaves the body is water. So when someone dies, after some time, the body, becomes so huge, big, and then it dwindles. All the water leaves the body. The last element is the earth, and when it touches the earth, it stays for about 60 years, and everything turns to dust. So all these 5 elements leave our body as soon as the soul leaves. But many of us in this room, when we sleep, when we put ourselves in our beds, we have some experience called dream. In the dream, you might be in Accra here, but in the dream you can see yourself maybe in Kumasi, in Sunyani, in the USA, whatever it is. And some things happens, and many a times some of these things that happens in the dreams, there are manifestations. For instance, if you dream of having an affair with a woman or a man in your dream, the next morning something represents in your pint to tell you that actually that incident happened. But you can understand or attest to the fact that the body you experience in the dream is not the same body as the one on the bed. Because in the night, you do not enter any bus, you do not enter any plane. So why in Accra, but you are seeing yourself in Kumasi or in Sunyani? So it means the body you see in the dream and the body that lies on the bed is 2 complete forms. The body you see in the dream is called the subtle body. The subtle body is also made up of 3 elements: mind, intelligence, and force ego. These 3 elements come together and it creates another body in the subtle realm. These 3 elements are also material, but they are not gross. They are subtle. So even though you know you have a mind, but have you ever seen your mind before? When you open this skull, what you see there is the brain, not the mind. You have never seen your mind before, even though you know you possess a mind. Have you ever seen your intelligence before? You have never ever seen your intelligence before, but you know you possess intelligence. So even though it's physical or material, it is not gross, it's subtle. You have not seen your ego before. That thing that makes you say, me. That ability for you to say, me. That ability is the ego. You know you possess that. You've never seen it before, even though it's material. So these 3 elements, mind, intelligence, and ego, they are material but subtle, so they cannot be seen, but the repercussions or the result of the action can be seen. For instance, if you use your mind to go and say, okay, I want to go and steal somebody. You go and steal the person. The next day, the act of the stealing will exemplify that this person thought of stealing. If you use your intelligence properly to do some wonderful things, the intelligence cannot be ascertained, but the result or the outcome or the product of that intelligence can be seen. For instance, the person who used intelligence to create this microphone. We couldn't see the person's intelligence, but we can see the microphone, the byproduct of the intelligence. When with your force ego, you go and kill somebody, we don't see your force ego, but the act of killing somebody can be seen. So the three elements are material, but they are not gross, they are subtle. So you have your gross body, you have your subtle body. And within the subtle body reside the real you. The you, the father, the mother, the sister, the wife, the husband. The real person resides within the subtle body. So many a times, we refuse to accept this fact, but when someone dies, that's the time our intelligence pricked. That we understand that, wow, the person I called my husband, the person I called my wife, my son, my baby, actually was not the one. That's the main reason why our father is dead, he's there, and all the kids are crying. Our father is gone. Our father is gone. He is not gone. He's lying down. Why are you assuming that he's gone? Because at that time, your real intelligence manifests. The person you claim you love so much, your husband, your wife, when he dies, when she dies, you are not ready to sleep in the same room with her. Why not? She is your wife, she's your husband. You love him, you love her so much. Why are you not ready to sleep with him or her in the same room when he's dead? Because all this while, you never identify the real husband, the real wife. But now that the soul is no more, now your intelligence is, enlightened. Now you understand that this is not a person. Because you claim you love her, she's dead. Go and sleep with her in the room. So, when we say our father is gone, even though the body is in front of us, that alone should tell us that actually the body and the real person we call our husband or our wife or our brother is not the body we see. So within the subtle body is a soul. And the soul also is made up of three elements: knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Knowledge, bliss, and eternity. So these three things are here: the gross body, the subtle body, and the spiritual body. But God is our eternal friend. So wherever the spirit soul goes, God Almighty followed that spirit soul. So in this your body, you can see your gross body as I can see yours. When you sleep, you can see your subtle body. Yes, your spiritual body cannot be seen now unless when you attain a higher perfection where you can separate matter from spirit. That's where you'll be able to see your real self. And God Almighty accompanies you wherever you go because He is your eternal friend. So those who are not so intelligent, those who are not so enlightened, those who are not so conscious, they think that when someone dies, that is the end of everything. But those who are in knowledge understand when this gross body dies, that is the body of the destructible body. That's the end of the destructible body, but not the end of the spirit soul or the super soul. This philosophy is the foundation of Krishna consciousness. It's the foundation of you becoming a godly person. Because as soon as you understand this is the ABC of spiritual life. So in Krishna consciousness, we are being told every now and then that we need to understand who you are. That we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. And because we are part and parcel of God, it is our duty as part to serve the whole. In fact, Krishna, God Almighty, is like a big burning fire. Then the sparks that goes out of that fire, that big fire, is considered to be we the living entities. Because God Almighty, being the big fire, possesses the ability to burn, the sparks, the particles that, emanate from the big fire also possess the ability to also start its own fire. So when the sparks of a big fire touches some dry materials, it's able to ignite fire because the power for ignition is in the big fire and it's also, inside the smaller ones. So all of us in these rooms, all of us here, we are part and parcel of Krishna. But unfortunately, because we are engrossed in this material body, we forget our original identity. And we begin to feel that we are this body. Now we begin to accept all the pains and the pleasures of this body. And because we assume that this body is us, we begin to think that we will die one day. But all of us in this room are some of them that are afraid to die. Especially those who are in ignorance. Those who are not in knowledge are so much afraid to die. Afraid to die because we think that will be the end of us. But deep down our heart, something tells us we are not supposed to die. All of us. Deep down your heart, you feel, no, I'm supposed to live. Yes, you are supposed to live eternally because you are not this body. You are a spirit soul. You have no beginning and no end. But because you have accepted this gross body to be yours, that's the main reason why something tells you you have to die. Even though deep down your heart, something also informs you are not supposed to die. There's a story in the Bible about the prodigal son. Jesus said, this guy, the father was so wealthy. The man is damn rich. He has everything. That the children, they have access to anything that will make them happy. One day this boy said, in fact, I don't want to be under my father. I want to be on my own. So he approached the father and said, my dear father, you possess so many things, and I'm your son. And your eldest son, for that matter. If you die, I have some share of your property. It's automatic. When you die, your children inherit you. Under normal circumstance. In Africa, at times, it doesn't happen. The family will come and drive them away from the house. But under normal circumstance, the kids of the father are supposed to inherit the father. So, father, if you die, I am going to inherit you. And that time, maybe I might be old enough. I cannot even enjoy those properties. So now, please, give me my share. I want to go and enjoy myself. So the father said, okay, no problem. But I wish that you stay with me. You wait, one day I'm going to die. And you inherit everything. So no. At that time, I'll be old. I might have my own children. And they will also be deserving me for their own property. So now that I'm a young person that I can enjoy, give me my share of your property. So the father, being a loving father, after speaking to the son for a very long time, the son was not ready for this wonderful advice. He gave all the share to him. And it's okay. This, that, everything here, these gold coins, this, that is for you. So the young guy started enjoying himself, enjoying with girls, enjoying with women, beautiful ones, enjoying with drinks. And he was actually enjoying himself in the material sense, enjoyment. And he didn't know that actually the father's wealth was actually helping because the father was still working and adding more to whatever he possesses. But the young guy, he's just squandering all the money without bringing any income. He's not working. All the money, the house, everything, he's just enjoying. And as you are using it, you are not replacing it. One day, it will come to extinction. So he got to a point, this guy became nil. He started selling the houses, selling all the things the father gave him. And he got to a point, his own dresses. He had to sell them, sell the shoes, sell everything practically. So he got to a point, he was not having a dime. This guy started working for people. He had to go and do liberal work before he would eat. He got to a point, he was actually taking care of pigs. You know pigs? Pluto. That dirty animal. This guy was taking care of them. He will be feeding them with food and stuff. So he got to a point, he will be so hungry. The food meant for the pigs, this is what this man will be eating. So one day, this guy, he sat down for a very long time. He was crying and crying and crying. And he said, why will I be suffering in this condition? My father is the most richest and most wealthiest person. Why will I be suffering like this? No, I think I have to go back. No, I can't go. My father will be so disappointed in me after giving me all those stars. No. My other siblings will laugh at me. So he was actually contemplating many things in his subconscious mind. He got to the point, whatever it is, I'll go back. So he went back to his father and said, dear father, please, all the things you gave me, I have squandered everything. I'm a foolish son. Please, try to accept me back. And don't even call me your son. Add me to one of your slaves there. I want to be a slave because I don't even qualify to be your son. So the son was standing far away, dirty with, the shit of all these pigs, smelling like that. He doesn't want to even come close to the father. The father ran and went to go and embrace him. I said, no, I'm happy you're back. I'm so happy that you're back. That even though you've misused what I gave you, you are still my blood. You are still my son. Please embrace me. The father embraced him with a very tense embrace. This boy started sharing tears, and he was sharing tears and sharing tears. And then when we hear the story, we begin to think something that happened about 2,000 years ago. But no, it's you, it's me. It's you, it's me. We were in the spiritual world, enjoying all the beautiful things in the spiritual world. We decided to come to the material world thinking that we can be happy on our own. We thought that, why is only God being worshipped this way? We are so powerful. We want to live in our own world where nobody will instruct us. We can enjoy life. So we went to God to seek for our freedom. We want to come to the material world. God allows us. Now we have squandered all our freedom, all our free will. We are messing up everything. But still, when we remember that we came from a father who is very loving and decides to go back with all our impurities, with all our dirty stuff, the Lord Almighty is going to receive us. So what I'm saying is, you are not this body in this material world. You are actually the spirit soul. You decided to live in this material world, and because of that, God gave you this gross body to live here. When you decide to rethink about your eternal position, the Lord Almighty is waiting for you. But for you to be able to start thinking this way, you need somebody to guide you. So in the purpose, the purpose says that if you associate with people with this consciousness, people who know and believe and understand that they are not this body, but they are spiritual, they are part and parcel of God, and this home is not their eternal home, that one day, whether they like it or not, they have to go back home where they come from, they begin to think and decide properly. So all of us in this room, we are very fortunate to actually associate with the members of the Christian consciousness movement. These people, the philosophy is so nice. It teaches us how to become godly by not only our deeds, but by our words and our intentions. It teaches us how to evolve. We have so many human beings in this material world, according to the population census, we're getting about 8 billion. But I tell you, more than 75% are not civilized. Only few are civilized. Real civilization doesn't mean creating bombs and atomic bombs and microphones and mobile phones. Real civilization is understanding the importance of being a civilized human being. The civilized human being tries to respect nature. The civilized human being tries to understand the importance of seeing that there is somebody behind creation. A civilized human being tries to find out someone who owns the material universe, who owns the whole material nature, and then try to render some service to him. That is a civilized human being. In fact, I was talking to a friend who came to my house, and he was talking about the laws of the world. I said, the laws of this world are just for the stupid people. We create laws because we cannot think and reason properly. So many of the so-called laws that we have in our material world are nonsense. See, just go out here and punch someone's mouth. A little blood comes. The person takes you to police station. You could be jailed for that one single blow. But tell people that you are a boxer. They will arrange two of you in a boxing ring. Punch the mouth and punch the mouth and punch the mouth until when the person's teeth even comes out, and they will give you money on top of it. Huh? Do you understand the way material intelligence is? You give one punch, and you can go to jail for that. But you are a boxer, they'll put in the ring, you can give about 100 punches, and then when you win, they give you millions of dollars. This is the way human being thinks. So, at times, we ask some unnecessary questions with our own material understanding. But let me tell you one thing. We are not this body. We are a spirit soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna. It is our duty to look for our source. All the religions in the world are actually looking for one source. All of us, being Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and everybody is actually looking for the one source. But unfortunately, out of ignorance, we tend to fight among ourselves. In this material world, we have people who believe that there's God. We call them theists, people who believe in the existence of God. They have the theism. Theist philosophy. And those who doesn't believe in the existence of God, we call them atheists. They don't believe in the existence of God. But among those who believe in the existence of God, a Christian and a Muslim meet and they fight. So if two of you are fighting, when you meet somebody who doesn't believe in God's existence, how do you convince that person to follow your philosophy? Even those who believe there's God, and you think that you can give the world peace, when you meet, you fight. So how do you convince those who doesn't believe in the existence of God? This is the material understanding. Many of these religions, they don't even get it. They don't get it. So even within Christianity, somebody who's a Sabbatarian, those who go to church on Saturday, and those who go on Sunday, when they meet, they fight. They're all Christians, and they call Christ their Savior because of ignorance. So this ignorance is so deep-seated in our hearts to the point that we can't even see the root, the way. We cannot see it. But we turn back and tell people that these people, they are lost. The level of thinking of these so-called religion people is so dull. At times when I sit down and I think about it, I feel, in fact, we are so much indebted to Srila Prabhupada. The founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we are so much indebted to him because some time ago, the same thing they are doing now that we feel that they are so stupid, probably we're doing worse. Some of us that were alcoholics in our olden time, before we get here, before maybe we drink and fall into the gutter and have bruises all over the places, and before we were enjoying. Now when you see them, you begin to sympathize with them. This is the level of credit that we should give to this man. Many of us were into so many horrible activities. Now you see people doing it, and it's like, why would they do this? You've forgotten that you used to be like that. You used to be like that. Now many of us in this room, we see somebody kill an animal, when an animal is being slaughtered, and you feel the pain. You don't see why people should try to kill an animal. But some time ago, you yourself will carry the cutlass and hit like that. And you'll be busy the whole day, putting the animal on the fire, but now you see it and it's like, what is happening? See, the truth of the matter is, we are so much indebted to this movement. We are so much indebted to this movement to the point that the best we can do is try to encourage other people to become devotees. We are so indebted. Because at times when I sit down and I think about many things, I said I'm so honored. And you've been given this opportunity not because you are so special in any way, but maybe by some costless mercy of somebody. Now you have the opportunity of coming here. So please, my advice is take everything very serious. And there are a few things that will be able to help you. The first thing is take Srila Prabhupada books. Many a time when I'm telling people, I first recommend books first. I don't even recommend chanting first. Because if you chant without faith, you will just be committing offenses. But after reading Srila Prabhupada books, you will develop some small faith that will help you to chant the Maha Mantra for you to get the benefit. So I am recommending that try to get Srila Prabhupada books and try and read them. Now, because of social media, because of mobile phones and internet, our 24/7 is not enough for us. Our 24 hours in a day is not enough for all of us because we are too busy with our phones. I remember some time ago when you wake up from the phone, the first thing you do, you kneel on your bed and you say a prayer. I remember that about 25 years ago. You wake up on the bed, the first thing you do is that you kneel on your bed and say, my dear Lord, thank you. By now, as soon as you wake up, it is your mobile phone you take first. You take the phone from here like this and see whether you have some missed calls or messages. Our world is a spoiled world now. And it's very sad, even though it's funny, but it is very sad. How many of us in this room wake up in the morning and the first thing we remember is to kneel the Krishna, thank you? You take the phone. Even you're asleep like that, then you're looking for the phone. We are too much addicted to the phone to the point that we don't even have time for the real things. So my advice to you, even though your 24 hours is not enough, nature will never add a kobo to it. Huh? Even though you think that your 24 is not enough, 24 hours, I'm too busy. I've been so busy. Yes, it is going to remain like that to the day you drop dead. So it is best for you to start creating some space for something spiritual. If you don't try to create a space, you would never have that space. Because there are so many horrible things in this world that will keep you engaged 24 hours in a day. You know, you don't know what you can do with just 1 hour if you use it in spiritual life. Just an hour, 1 good hour, if you sit down to engage in anything spiritual, the benefit alone, you don't have any idea. But if you want to use about 3 hours and sit down here and gossip about nonsense things, you wouldn't even know that it's 3 hours. When you are talking about unnecessary things, you can spend 2-3 hours and you wouldn't even know the time is going. If you use only 1 hour of that time that you use on that useless thing, the benefit, you don't have any idea. So my recommendation, if you take this advice from maybe a fool like me, is get your proper book. And you should have a book that you are reading all the time. That's what I do. When I take one book, I read from the beginning to the end. When I'm done, I keep it and I have all the time in my car, I have a book there. I am busy than you. I am more busy than you. Because I have thousands of people that I need to correspond to every day. But at times, as we are giving time to all the unnecessary things, we need to think about our own self-enlightenment. See, if you don't have, you can give. If you don't have 1,000 Ghana cedis, how is it possible that you can give someone 1,000 Ghana cedis? So if you want to even help, you need to possess first. And how do you possess? You need to create time for yourself, for your own spiritual life. So like I'm saying, chanting is so important. It's the most important in Christian culture. But I always recommend Srila Prabhupada books. You know why? Because that book is direct association with Srila Prabhupada. And anybody who reads a Prabhupada book will be interested in chanting the holy name. Else, we will be chanting with offenses. Even though, yes, there are some benefits there. But if you really understand the chanting, it benefits more than when you just chant it anyhow. So you read a Prabhupada book and you know the importance of the holy name. Then when you chant the holy name, you chant with all the sincerity. So the first thing I recommend is the proper book. The second thing I recommend is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The third thing is try to look for the 4 principles. No meat, no fish, no egg, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. Try to follow them. Then, as you become more interested, seek for initiation. These are the advice I'll give you. If you're able to do this, your life will not be a useless one. Many of us in this world, we are living a useless life. We are living lives like animals. Animals don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. All that they do is they are looking for food. So right in the morning, they go out, searching for food to eat. When they are able to eat enough, they are looking for sex, looking for some dirty dog somewhere to go and have sex with. After that, they are looking for a place to sleep. And when something happens, they want to defend themselves. This is the 24/7 of the animal. You wake up in the morning, look for food. When you get food, now the food is so much in your stomach, it sits on your genitals begin to activate, you want to look for sex. After having sex, you are tired, you want to sleep. Then in your stomach, something happens, you want to defend yourself. So eating. Yeah, it's just Radha Govinda ki. Jagana Baladev Subhadra ki. Sri Prabhupada ki. So 4 things. Eating, sleeping, sex, and defense. 4 things. Everybody is engaging. Animals are doing this. And they do it so expertly, nicely. They don't have any troubles. They are doing it 24/7. Human beings are superior form. The human species is superior. So we should not just be looking for food. When I say food, you might think, now, is it going to kitchen to go and cook? All the struggles in town, waking up in the morning and struggling in the traffic and moving up, is food. It's food you're looking for. You have to sweat and do this and do that. You're looking for food. And then when you come back home and now you are tired and there's a woman or the man around, you want to enjoy sex life. After that, you need a place to lay your head. And then maybe if you have money, you're a big man, you have some gun, you have some security things to protect yourself. Like that. So we are actually practically, we are living the lifestyles of the animals. But no, the human body is very precious. The human body is very special. So if you're a human being, try as much as possible to create some space for spiritual life. Please, it's important. If you're a human being, try to create some space for yourself. Very early in the morning is the best time. You turn around. Maybe when you're out there busy, you read some books. In the evening, take your book, read something before you sleep. And try as much as possible to I don't know the word to use, as much as possible to replicate whatever you read in the books. For a devotee, one of the best quality is to develop love and mercy. So don't just read the books like storybook. No, you try to exemplify whatever you read in the books. If you are a devotee and you cannot forgive people easily, if you got forgive, okay, but if you don't forgive easily, you are still not a civil human being yet. A human being should be able to forgive easily, especially a devotee. Try to have love within your heart. Love people, no matter what. Develop some kind of compassion for people. And not just only human beings, develop compassion for all living entities to the point that you don't want to even kill animals. I was watching some series, some movie. Even I'm busy one day, at times I have to distress myself. So at times I have to watch some movies. So I was watching some movie. It's on Netflix. The name is The Walking Dead. It's a very nice movie. And there's so much violence in that movie. People are killing. There's this man, his name is Morgan. This man was very bad before. But later he met some man who taught him Aikido. Aikido is like ahimsa, non-violence. So they will go for battle and he will be wounding people. Like he will incapacitate you by hitting you with his stick. He wouldn't kill. So they asked him, why? You should be killing. These people want to kill us. He said, every life matters. Every life is so valuable. He doesn't want to take any life. So that point is something that's always ringing in my mind. That every life matters. Especially those of us that we go out there, we want to eat anything that moves. Anything that walks, we want to eat. We eat any animal. Some people live some kind of lifestyle. It's very terrible. There's no discrimination when it comes to eating animal. They can eat anything. No, it's terrible. Human beings are able to discriminate. This is right. This is wrong. Even animals, when they enter into the bush, they don't eat all the leaves there. There are some leaves they don't eat. So if you're a human being and you don't have taboo in your life, you don't have some food you don't eat, you are not yet a human being. I am being sincere. No, it's painful, but I'm telling you the truth. Even animal, when you see them walking on the ground, there are some things they will smell and they will not eat it. Not that they are not hungry. They are. But they know this is not right. So human beings should be able to discriminate. This is right and that is not right. So if you are the type who can just go ahead and do everything and anything without any discrimination, it means you are yet to become a human being. Yes. Human beings must have some discipline to follow, some principles. Human beings must have some principles to follow. That will make you a human being. If you don't have any principles, I'm talking about positive principles that resonate with the laws of nature, you are still not yet a human being. So here, the body, the subtle body, the spirit soul. This is you. But the super soul always accompanies the spirit soul until the material body is vanquished, until the subtle body is vanquished, and then the spirit soul joins the super soul, and then they enter into the spiritual world. This is what we are all looking for. We want to go back to God. But for you to do that, you need to understand who you are, what to do, So that at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve the aim of going back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So please, what we do, if you have any question or comment or contribution or something, please, you can take the microphone and then ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribol.
Thank you very much for your wonderful lecture.
Haribol.
Prabhu, first of all, I would like to recommend you and thank you, and I very appreciate you. It's all about the Zoom platform we are attending to. In fact, today I was the happiest person on earth.
Yeah.
Those your disciples that came there, actually they were happy.
Yes.
So I'm also happy. So I would like to congratulate you on your effort. So Prabhu, I have a question here. Just before you end your class, you made mention that if you are a devotee and you cannot easily forgive, that means you are not a human being yet. In Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 1, text number 36, Prabhupada mentioned something here, and I would like to quote.
Yeah.
And see, out of these people, if you are a devotee and you have to involve in this, it's still that you are not still a devotee.
No, read it. Just read
okay,
it.
the text is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, text number 36. But the question is in the purport. I said, according to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressors. A poison giver, one who set fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. So, Prabhu, here lies my question. I'm a devotee, and this, out of these 6 aggressors, they've come my way, Prabhu, and I don't want to forgive any of these 6. Why will you please me? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, very important question. The Vedas speaks about aggressors. Prabhu just mentioned them. In Vedic times, we have institutions called monarchy system. Monarchy. Monarchy system means we are being ruled by a king. So when somebody tries to poison you, when someone takes your wife, someone takes your property, you are not the one to met any punishment to the person. It is the king who implements punishment to this person. Vedic system was for civilized people, and for civilized people there must be an institution to take care of situations. So the king actually helps the person who is the aggressor. When someone kills somebody, that person will suffer in the next life. So a king will make this person to be hanged to help you so that in the next life you will not be killed. So in the Vedic times, there were institutions that would take care of this. For instance, now when somebody steals your car, what will you do?
Police.
Yes. So why are you thinking that when someone steals your car, you have to go and kill the person? And now when someone steals your car, you go to the police station to go and report. Then the person can be jailed. Not that you said, okay, you stole my car, I'll go and kill you. No. So there are institutions. So for instance, when someone tries to poison you, it is the king who will make punishment to that person. But what is the use of you keeping that pain in your heart? The person who tried to poison you probably has been jailed, he has been sentenced, maybe he's even killed. And you living and you are still harboring that pain in your heart, you think you are disturbing the person, you are killing yourself. So you not forgiving somebody means that you are not civilized. If it's somebody who hurts you, like Jesus said in the Bible, when someone slaps you, turn here. What it means is that try as much as possible to forgive. Because you forgive not for people, for you, for yourself. So if you love yourself, don't think that, okay, somebody has harmed me and I'm keeping the grudges in my heart, so I'm harming the person. You are a fool. You are a fool. The person has caused some violence to you. You are not happy with it. You are disturbed. And you are keeping that in your mind, thinking you are harming the person. You are harming yourself. So where is the intelligence? So forgiveness is not for the person who harmed you, for yourself. You are not ready to allow yourself to be punished once again. The person slapped you. It's very painful. He's gone. After about 3 months, the physical pain is gone. But you are still keeping the pain of the slap in your heart. It means that you have allowed this person to be slapping you every day. So forgiving this person who slapped you is nothing good for that person, but for yourself. So a devotee must try as much as possible to forgive. When your son, your daughter, does something bad in the house, do you correct him because you hate the person in your heart? I'm asking a question. When your son or daughter does something bad in the house, maybe carry some stone and break your TV or something in the hand, and you want to punish this baby, you do that. Is it because you hate the baby?
No.
You want to correct the baby.
Yeah.
And you do that with some love in your heart. So as I'm beating them when they are crying, you bring them down and sit on your lap. Does it mean because you beat them, because you hate them, you are keeping some grudges in your heart?
No, exactly.
You should try to met out punishment to people who deserve it, but make sure that it doesn't stuck in your heart. That is maturity. So you have the aggressors. They must be punished. But you, the victim, you don't have to keep them in your heart, because if you do that, you are harming yourself, not them.
Okay, I think I have to bring, this is my personal issue here.
Please do.
Not quite long. I brought some issue before you. And this issue, I took it to the police station. But as you said, in Vedic times, that guy has supposed to be punished by law.
Sure.
But the law is not taking its course at the police station. Because here is the case, the person has poisoned me. But it's not a poison that I should die also, but it's a sleeping tablet for him to steal me. That's what happened. I took the person to the police station. It's about 2 months going now. In fact, I have to be even begging the policemen for even the law to take its course. But even as at now, the law is not taking its course. And the person is walking free. Whereas me, that the person have stolen from, I'm even suffering more than the one who have stolen from me.
Prabhu, so, I get your point. Don't prolong it.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
You've been a devotee for some long time. Yes. The fact of the matter is, we need to come to the platform of understanding the realities of life. Nothing will happen to you if you don't deserve it. See, we are devotees, and at times we have to come to the realities of life. Nothing will ever befall you or happen to you if you don't deserve it. An intelligent devotee accepts every situation and he takes some experience from it. For instance, let me give an example. Someone comes to your house, it's a friend, and the person maybe having some 10,000 Ghana cedis somewhere. He wants to steal the money, but you're very alert and there's nothing he can do about it. So he normally brings food, you eat together. So he brings food. Prabhu, I brought this food. Let's eat, but I've eaten some already. Okay, you are hungry. You take the food, you eat the food. And as you eat the food, you sleep. Before you wake up, this guy has gone, and your 10,000 Ghana cedis is not there. Very painful. You wake up, you ask your friend, I said, no. When I was leaving, you were not sleeping. I told you I was going. You said, okay. And I left. I didn't know what happened. Yes, the first thing, as a human being, is to go and report to the police for the laws to take their own course. The law is not doing the job properly. So, you cannot go and kill the person because the law is going to. If you harm the person now, you'll be jailed. So now, as a devotee, what do you do? My advice is, okay, this person has taught me a very great lesson. This person stole my 10,000 Ghana cedis. Maybe, in the future, I will be having 200,000 Ghana cedis. And this guy will come with another food and tell me, Prabhu, I have this food for you. The 10,000 Ghana cedis someone stole some time ago will ring in my mind. Don't eat it. It could be poison. Yes, the person did something bad. He stole your 10,000 Ghana cedis, but it has given you experience. So that tomorrow, your 200,000 Ghana cedis will not be stolen. So for a devotee, you learn from that situation and you guide yourself. The person is walking free. Nature is going to deal with him one day. You don't want to implicate yourself. Okay, you can go. But tomorrow, maybe the 10,000 Ghana cedis, it would have been 100 million Ghana cedis. That would give me intelligence. So that's what I will tell you. Forget about it. You are living. When you have life, you have everything. Don't put any grudge in your heart. You'll be harming yourself. Forgive him. This person actually gave you an experience that something could happen to you in the future. He is giving you the clue in the future. Nowadays, you'll be there and you receive a mobile message on your phone that you have won an award, mobile money. So send your PIN and then you have 10,000 Ghana cedi. And you send it and then your 2,000 Ghana cedi is stolen from your mobile money wallet. Tomorrow when you receive that message, will you mind them? Huh? The person stole only 2,000 Ghana cedi, but he has given you the experience. Tomorrow your 100,000 Ghana cedi will not be stolen. So yes, some of us have to learn the painful way. At times, nature teaches us many things, to the point that nature at times even kill people to teach us a lesson. When you are standing on the roadside, and as you are standing there, somebody crosses the road and the car hits the person, and the person dies in front of you. Anytime you want to cross the road, that scene will play in your mind that you look here, about 50 times before you cross. Nature taught you to be extremely careful when you are crossing the road. In that process, somebody have to die. And that thing has become something in your mind that you always remember when you are crossing the road. So when something happens to you, nature wants other people to learn from your own expression. Be nice. Because other people are looking at you. What do you do? So yes, it's a bad thing. Now no money, somebody finds ways and means to steal your money. But please, if you are still able to be cool, be nice to that person. There are people around you that don't know the story. Say, this guy is a different person. Upon all that this guy did, he's so nice to him. Yes, you'll be nice with him from afar. And you'll be extremely careful so that this person is capable of doing this. A second fool is a fool. So I wouldn't allow myself for him to come closer to do this. But I'll be nice to him. That alone is preaching. Now, at times I use my life as an example. We are all humans, we have our own flaws. But I try as much as possible to have anybody in the mind. At times when I tell you some my relations with some people, and I tell you some stories, you say, and you're doing this, and yes. It doesn't change you. It makes you matured. So please, the fact is, try as much as possible to forgive, no matter what. Forgive. You know, that's the same movie I was watching. It was some pandemic like this, COVID-19 stuff. It was a terrible thing. Everybody was dying. And when they die, they wake up again. And when he bites you, you also have the virus. It was a serious thing. So one policeman, he was sick. He had someone shot him. He was unconscious. And the friend sent him to the police station. The friend sent him to the police station. So we're there treating him when the pandemic started. So everybody was running up and down like that. So the doctors and the nurses started turning into that walking dead. They are dead. And if they bite you, you have the virus also. Everybody running away. This police friend is lying unconscious. He's not dead. So the friend, what did he do? He just closed the door and then put some big table there. He ran away. So he went back. They were very close. So the wife, he was having a wife and then a son. So after a very long time, he thought that the friend is dead because everybody was dead, only him. And all the doctors were turning to that kind of creature. So now maybe they have eaten up and he's dead. So the way he was so nice to this woman, the woman fell for him. It happens. When a man is so nice to a woman, the woman thinks, okay, I love him. So they started having sex and all that. Not knowing that this man did not die. He later came back to consciousness. When he came back, everybody was dead. So he came out and all that he could see was this walking dead animals, like human beings coming back from death. So he had to find ways like that until later, after some time, he met the group where the wife and the son was there. And now the friend is having sex with the wife. Under normal circumstances, your friend is having sex with your wife. You'll be angry. Right? But this man said, okay, My wife thought I was dead. She needed protection for herself and then my son. And my friend was there to do that. So even though I'm not happy that my friend had sex with my wife, but at least because of him, my wife and my kid are still living. So because of this, I have forgiven him. Huh? So at times, we need to understand that keeping grudges will not change anything. We will harm ourselves. So what I'm saying is that if you are unable to forgive easily, you are not yet a civilized human being. Because you think that you are harming the person, but you are actually harming yourself. So who is so civilized? Who will be harming himself? If you are civilized, you don't harm yourself. So please, yes, we have aggressors. People can do so many bad things, but don't keep them in your heart. If you want to push them to the law, that's okay. You stole my things, okay, the law should take its own course. Okay, you did that, the law. But you as a person, make sure your heart is clean. Don't keep any grudges there. Because you are not harming the person. You are harming yourself. And you love yourself. Why do you harm yourself when you love yourself? Please do that. It is not very easy. You will say it is easy. But I tell you, it is for your own good. It is not very easy, but for your own good. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please, we have some online questions. This is from Beatrice Ashley.
Okay.
She said, please, what should you do if you forgive someone, but the person still acts like she has a grudge against you?
Yeah, you've forgiven somebody and the person have a grudge against you. You've done your part. Move on. Move on in your life. Allow the person. You've done your part, forgiving the person, and the person is still angry with you and he sees you. Allow the person. You've done your part. The point here is you don't want to harbor any pains in your heart. That will distract your own progress when it comes to spiritual life. Even apart from spiritual life, in your own health. Anyone who is not easily forgiven, that person is always sick. Huh? Anyone you see is always sick all the time, the person don't forgive. And there are so many examples, we can't mention names. Anyone who every day, morose, those people don't forgive easily. So that grudges you are keeping in yourself, they will turn into some kind of malaria, some jaundice, and they will be attacking you all the time. People who forgive easily, I am telling you, they don't get sick. Not that they have any power. They don't get sick. They are always like that. Yes, when you grow, you get to a point, the system actually attacks many sickness. That's a normal thing. But ordinarily, you see some people getting sick anyhow. It's because of grudges. So please, when you're able to forgive somebody, the person doesn't appreciate it and they are still being inimical towards you, it is good for you to move on in life. Forgive them. Be nice to them. But you do this with intelligence. Because somebody who can harm you by coming close to you, poison you, you'll be nice to the person, but you do that with alertness. No. What I'm saying is, if you love yourself, you don't harbor pain. It is difficult for somebody, after harming you for so many ways, the person approaches you for help. Can you just imagine that this person who did all that, and then later he turned back and said, Prabhu, please, today I'm hot, can you get me some 100 Ghana cedis? And it's okay, Prabhu. Take 200 Ghana, you give the person. When I do this because I said this person is bold. All that you did, you are bold to come to me. It means that yes, you are bold, and I want to tell you that I'm bolder than you, so take. When someone harms us, and they have the audacity to come out for help, we should tell them that we are more mature than them. But when somebody harms you, and then you see the person and you do like that all the time, then what makes you so special? You are not different from him. He harmed you, and you're angry. You are on the same pedestal. But after doing all those bad things, you still see him and he smiles. And not that you smile here and then you close your anus. No. You smile here and you smile here. When the person comes to you, you are nice. If you have to give, you give. You are not harboring anything in your heart. That is intelligence and that is maturity. So please, it's not very easy. Anytime when I speak about forgiveness, the same question keep on repeating. So what if you've helped the person harmed you, you've forgiven the person many times, the person is still doing that, please, let the person go. live your life, but don't keep any grudges. Understand this. When you keep the grudge, you are not harming the person. You are harming yourself. So why are you trying to justify why you should be angry? Huh? Anytime people keep on asking the same question, they are trying to get a justification that I have the right to be angry with this person. But the fact is that when you're angry with a person, you are harming yourself. Why are you trying to justify why you have to keep grudge? If by keeping the grudge, the person is going to suffer, I'll say do that. The person harmed you, and you're keeping grudge in your heart, the person is going to suffer. I'll say go ahead. But when you keep the grudge, it will not do the person, it is you that is going to suffer. So why are you trying to justify why you should be angry and keep grudge? As if by keeping grudge, the person that harmed you is one who is going to face the consequences. No, you will be facing the consequences. And because you are civilized, you don't want to face that. Allow it to go. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please, another question.
Yes.
Please, this is from Joe Stone. He said, Daddy Jan, please, how can one help the people close to become consciousness?
You see, many a times we want to preach to people, but our way of doing things preaches more than what we say. You know, it is very difficult with your kids in the house and you tell them don't smoke. And then they see you always in the bathroom smoking. Those children of yours will become smokers, whether you like it or not. They might not be smoking in the house, but when they go out, they will go and smoke. Because they will look at what you are doing, not what you are telling them to do. So you tell Joe Stone that if you want to help people around to be conscious, let them understand that you are conscious. By doing so, they will change. Now I tell you, it is the most powerful way of preaching. When you move with people, telling them what to do is not so important. Let them see something, how you do things. It will change them more. Now, like I said, when I joined the movement, my mom said, if you don't stop these people, when I die, don't come to my funeral. I said, okay, I'm not even going to the village again, so I'll stay in crying. But when I went there, my mom saw me after about 2 weeks. She told me, the church is good for you. I was shocked. Because she could see I was changed. Huh? People know you. How you live your life. People know you. You know, at times you might think that people don't know us. I tell you lie. People know you. I bought some land from some man, some doctor, a very famous guy. And the arrangement was that, okay, we will pay it in installment. And this man said, no, he want to take all the money, cash, one plot, $30,000, else he's not giving out. I went to his office and I said, I like it, so give me some period, 2-3 months, I will give you that money. And the man agreed. So those people that were also looking for the land, they said, how is that possible? This man, we've gone there to even go and present 50% of the amount for the whole 5 plot. He said he's not taking, unless he takes full. But mine, he's taking each plot, every month I have to pay only one. So it means that 5 installments. So they were surprised. And myself too, I was surprised. And not that I did some magical thing or some mystical thing, no, nothing. So when I finished paying 2 plots, this man, I never knew he knows me anywhere. So the man told me, people told me you're a good man. And you've actually represented that. I said, who? Because that place, I don't live there. He said, some people told me you are a good man. So I wanted to test you, and you've actually done more than necessary. So if you think people don't know you, you lie. People know you. Wherever you live, let them see the way you do things. It will change them more than what you keep on telling them, shouting. I have one boy with me. He's always with me. I have never ever forced him one day to fast. But during courtesy, we fast. And I've never told him, he's not a devotee. You know, I have a lot of people that follows me. They follow transformation. He's not a devotee, so I don't force him. So this Kartik, I was in the house when he came. He said, boss, this Kartik, I want to fast. I said, why? And he said, I've been looking at the way you do things and I want to become like you, so I want to fast. He fasted, and the last 5 days, he was so sick that he was hospitalized. So when I went there to go and visit him, I was going to arrange for them to give me any food to eat. So when I went to go and see him after praying for him, I was there when the woman brought eba and normal soup, vegetarian soup. So I said, what? He said, yes, I'm doing vegetarian for the whole month. I'm not eating any meat and any fish. And I'm not taking any grain. Even at the point that he was sick and he was in the hospital, he told me he was not going to eat grain. I was very touched. What I'm trying to say here is, many a times we think that what we say will change people. It is what we do. That's why it is very good that if we are devoted, wherever we go, let people know that we are devoted. At least we must be compassionate. We must show love. If you show love and compassion, you are able to touch the heart of people. Okay, so whoever is asking that question, my dear, what I'm saying is, let your deeds preach to people, not all that you say all the time. Because it said that seeing is believing. At times when people want to see something before they believe. So when they know that it's possible that somebody can forgive, no matter how difficult you harm the person can forgive, and truly somebody exemplify that. It teaches many people to also try to emulate that kind of lifestyle. Not always shouting people. Can you just imagine that somebody is saying that, oh, you must forgive, you must forgive. And that same person, somebody harmed the person, and this person for about 1 year, he's still talking about it. You tell yourself, this person is telling her to forgive all the time. See, small thing, and you can't even forgive. So we should be able to teach people more than, with what we do, than more than what we say. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm seeing some hand here, some hand. I think we still have some time. Okay, we still have about 25 minutes.
Hare Krishna.
It's 3:30, right? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
A question that you are talking, you said a spiritual word before. But the spiritual word, there is no sin there. So what brought we here?
Okay, this question, people used to ask that in the spiritual world, there's no sin. So in the kingdom of perfection, there cannot be imperfections. So if you are righteous people in the spiritual world, why did we fall? In fact, there are many, many, many ways that some senior devotees explains it. But I read a book by Mahadini Swami, and he says that actually we did not commit any sin in the spiritual world. We wanted to have a service, but there were some other services that were not in the spiritual world. So Krishna had to give us the chance to come here. For instance, people that have the desire to create, they want to create. In the spiritual world, there's no creation there. So you want to create something for Krishna, but in the spiritual, there's no way you can create because everything is there already. But you have the desire to create. You have the desire to create. So Krishna has to let you come to the material where there will be creation. So you come here, you want to come and create your own family and have many wives and many children. Go there to go and do it, not here. Because myself, people, when I join movement, Jai Sister Radha Govinda Ki, Jagana Balade Subhadra Ki, Shri Prabhupada Ki. Myself, when I joined the movement newly, there were some senior people that were saying that we were in the spiritual world and we committed sin against God. And then, so I used to ask, but I was neophyte, beginner. But I used to ask, how can we commit sin in the spiritual world? The way we say Satan have to fight with God. How is that possible? The person in the spiritual world, there's no sin there. And everybody is thinking that Satan is the cause of our sins. But Satan, according to the Bible, he is the first person who sinned. So if we are blaming Satan for our sins, who will Satan blame for his sins? Now, you get my point. All of us, we keep on blaming Satan that he's the cause of our sin all the time. Because he's the one who is instigating us to commit sin. Okay, who will Satan blame for his sin? Because we know that he was a messenger of God. He was an angel. So who will he blame? Then now you begin to understand that many things we do in this material world is fallacy. So, like I said, when I joined newly, I heard this that, okay, we committed sin in the spiritual world. How can we commit sin in the spiritual world? And another say that actually the soul were actually in the Brahma Jyoti. The Brahma Jyoti is a effulgence of Krishna, not directly in the spiritual world. Prabhu Gurudas, once he was with me, I asked him that question. And he said for him, it's not that we were in the spiritual world like with Krishna, but we were in the Brahma Jyoti. So we have to descend and come here. But all the same, even the Brahma Jyoti also is an expansion of Krishna. Krishna is the effulgence where purity must exist. So why in the first place that we have to come to this material world? Like I said, I read Mahadini Swami book and said, the souls in the spiritual world, not that we committed any sin against Krishna, but we wanted to be engaged in some service. That service is, you can't do that there. For instance, you see many people worshiping Krishna. How I wish I can give birth to many children so that they can worship Krishna. In the spiritual world, you can't go and have sex there. But you want to give birth to so many children so that they can worship Krishna. It is only in the material world that you can get married and give birth to children. So now that you committed a sin, you wanted to do some service, and that service is not there in the spiritual. You have to come here to come and do. And then gradually, when you get here, gradually our consciousness is changing, and now we are here. You see, so it is a little bit delicate. But the fact of the matter is that not that we committed sin in the spiritual world, because there is no sin. We wanted to be engaged in some service, and that service cannot be rendered there. So we have to go to a different place where we can go and engage in that service. That's why we are all here. So if we do those services properly, now we will realize that actually where to render this service is in the spiritual world, and then we start gearing towards going there. Hare Krishna. Yes, Faguna Prabhu.
Thank you very much for your lecture. And I first appreciate about your transformation activities you have been going through. Because when we are going out for Harinam or when we are distributing books, some people ask, "Oh, are you from Jianshashu, a distant church?" We say yes. "Oh, give me the book. We want some of the books." And then it touch our heart that you have done something. Some of us cannot even talk in the public. But when we talk, go out, through your experience, they also collect the books from us. So I thank you for that.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. My question goes to the element of the substitute Bible. So please, can you tell me what is my mind that is giving me to the function or message? And then also, can you tell me the function of the intelligence, the mind, the force ego, and the reality? Sometimes you think that something will tell you do this, another thing tell you do that. So we don't know whether the mind are telling you or.
Okay. Yeah, so Prabhu want to say that our mind, intelligence, and force, what are the duties? What do they do? In fact, the ability for you to think, okay? The ability for you to think, to reason, is the duty of the mind. And the ability to be able to differentiate between what is good and what is bad is intelligence. Okay? So all of us can think. Everybody can think. Now, as you're sitting here, you are thinking of, okay, tomorrow I'll go to work, I'll do this, tomorrow I'll go and steal. Everybody can think. So as you are thinking, that is the duty of the mind. The mind helps you to be able to think, to reason, to plan, and all that. But the ability to be able to decipher what is good and what is bad is the duty of the intelligence. Okay? And the force ego is that ability of you seeing yourself as unique. That feeling that makes you that, okay, you are an individual. You can be in a room with many people, but you still feel that among this crowd, I am one, I am me. That feeling, that ability is the force ego. The force ego is able to identify you that you are you. So now, if there's food there, and they said everybody should go and take one. There are 7 people, the food is 6. Say everybody must take one. That feeling that makes you, that you want to go and rush so that you can get one for you as an individual, that is the force ego. Okay? So the force ego is able to identify you, it's able to pinpoint who you are, that among 1,000 people, you are still an individual person. Even though you can be on the bed with your wife in the night, when some tender strike, everybody is finding somewhere to go and hide their head. Yeah? So that feeling that makes you feel that you are an individual, that's the force ego. So we all have a mind, we can all think, we all have our intelligence, but after we thinking, not all of us are able to use our intelligence to differentiate what is good and what is bad. So, yes, we've thought of it and we want to go out and do anything. So that is it. So for a devotee, because we chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This morning, Harishaka Prabhu gave some example, very nice analogy. He said, if you are being given a pot, a very big pot, say about 20,000 pounds, very heavy, like a pot that the size is like a caterpillar, and there's so much dirty water inside, and you are being instructed to empty it. An ordinary man will say that it's not possible. See, that thing is too heavy. You think I'm a caterpillar to, you say that this thing is too heavy. How possible? Because the pot is so heavy and the dirty water inside. You can't roll it. So it's almost impossible. But an intelligent mind, it's okay. The water is very dirty and the pot is very heavy. I cannot pour it. What do? Okay. The instruction is that you must pour this old water, dirty water, and fill it with clean water. So an intelligent person will keep on pouring good water into the dirty one. And as you keep on pouring the good water into the dirty one, it will be displacing the old one. It will get to a point it will be diluted. You see that it is dirty still. But the more you keep on putting more clean water into the dirty pot, all the old water will be displaced. Then you have the clean water. So all of us, our minds are very dirty. Because of the interaction of material energy and all the activities around, the minds are very dirty. For us to go to the spiritual world, we need to empty this dirty mind. How do you do that? You cannot bring your heart out and begin to wash it. But you have to put in good things, good thinking, good feelings. And the more you begin to put all good things into it, it will be displacing the old one and be filling with the good ones. So this is how it's supposed to be. Our minds are there, the intelligence is there, the force is good. They all have their duty. But for the devotee, you try as much as possible to fill your heart and your mind with Srila Prabhupada, with Krishna, with all the divine things. And as you keep on doing this, you begin to understand that you can use your mind properly, you can use your intelligence properly. There are some people, they are very intelligent too, in a very negative way. If they want to steal you, they are so smart that they will steal you, will never know. Now all these scammers, fraud people out there, the way they steal people, if they tell you, you'll be shocked. They are very smart. That is intelligent, but they are not using the intelligence properly. Don't forget that there's two ways that you can use anything in this world. This microphone we are using to preach about Krishna is positive. Somebody can go and stand there and be doing azan with it. The same microphone, people hear. If you have a knife, you can use it to peel cassava and all that to cook food, wonderful food for Krishna. The same knife can be used to kill somebody. So it means that there's two use to everything that you have. So our mind, our intelligence, and our ego, all these things have two sides, how to use it. So for the devotee, you want to think about Krishna all the time. You want to be engaged in Krishna service so that your intelligence and your mind will be used properly. Ego is there. Everybody have the ego. Ego is not something bad. When you add force to it, false ego, that makes it bad. But you are an individual, you are a unique person, and that is okay. But if you accept and understand this and then use your individuality in a very positive way, there is nothing wrong with false ego. Hare Krishna. Sorry? Superiority about what? Okay, no, I mean, you should understand that, it is said that the false ego is very tiniest than the mind, and the mind is also tinier than the intelligence is tinier than the mind. So the mind is here, the intelligence is here, and the false ego is there. So it means that the false ego is superior to the intelligence. So the false ego can control the intelligence. That is, you are able to decipher what is good, what is bad. But your individual and your uniqueness will make you to go and do something bad. And the mind is, even though you can think about many things, but your intelligence will force you to go and do the bad things. So the mind is down, the intelligence is up, and then the false ego is here. So it means that the intelligence controls your mind. So even though you know that this is bad, the intelligence tells you, go and do it. You go and do it. And then you use your individuality. It's okay, no, this is good, this is bad, but this one will benefit me, so I'll go and do that one. So the false ego is superior to the intelligence is superior to the mind. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, are you ready? Okay, so we thank all of you. May Krishna bless you. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki. Gora Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Gora Premanande. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki.